In this video, we're going to discuss the brand new My Bloody Valentine Harry Warden, the minor figure from NECA. Welcome to the Swearwolves Horror Podcast YouTube channel. I'm Brett. If you're a returning subscriber, I just want to thank you for coming back. And if you're new to this channel, I want to thank you for stopping by. Please consider clicking both that subscribe button as well as that notification bell below. We upload videos on a regular basis in which we review anything and everything horror, from action figures and toys to soundtracks, various collectibles, video games, you name it. And today, we're talking about this My Bloody Valentine, the minor. It goes by the name Harry Warden in the movie, but it says the minor right there, and this is from NECA. My Bloody Valentine is a movie that I remember watching a lot when I was growing up. Seemingly it was always on TV in some edited form or fashion. We actually reviewed this movie on our podcast a while back, so I'll put a link to that podcast episode in the description below if you want to listen to that one. Let's get into talking about the packaging here. Obviously, you can see right through here that we got the figure, but we'll talk about that more when we open this up. It says at the top, there's more than one way to lose your heart. My Bloody Valentine, the minor. On the side, just My Bloody Valentine and a picture of the minor character right there. And on the back, we have a couple pictures of the figure in different poses. And at the bottom, a decades-old folktale surrounding a deranged murderer killing those who celebrate Valentine's Day turns out to be true to legend when a group defies the killer's order and people start turning up dead. Includes pickaxe, nail gun, knife, and candy heart. Very cool. I'm glad they include the nail gun. I didn't even know that was included in this, so that's really cool. Other side is just a picture of the figure at the top, and same picture, I guess, at the bottom. Kind of interesting how they did that. But anyway, why don't we go ahead and open this figure up. We'll talk about the accessories and give it a review. All right, got the figure open here. And before we get to the figure itself, let's go ahead and talk about these accessories. We got 4 different accessories here, and they're all pretty good. Some better than others, but we'll get there. We got, first and foremost, this is the nail gun. Now, he does kill somebody with a nail gun in the film. I don't specifically remember what it looked like. I'm assuming this is what it looked like. The nail gun looks pretty good. It says, if you can read that, it says NECA right there on the side of the handle. But that's all right. Not an accessory I'll include for display purposes, but very cool that they included it nonetheless. Next, we have a knife. Now, we've gotten knives with other characters before. This is just a standard like hunting knife that you'll see. Pretty good shine to the blade. I like that. The blade looks really good. The handle is just a black handle, but just a little hunting knife here. Very good. But again, not something that I necessarily associate to this killer. Unlike the pickaxe. Yes, the pickaxe is the weapon of choice for Harry Warden, aka the minor, and NECA did a really good job on this, especially on the head of the pickaxe right here. You can see how it gives a little bit of a shine under the light. It's got that metallic black look to it with some texture. I really do like the way that this looks, especially under the light right there. You can just see how it kind of glows or shines, rather. Contrary to that, we have the handle. And the handle, of course, is just brown. It's a brown stick. There's no detail, no wood grain or anything like that. And that's to be expected with these 8-inch figures. The 8-inch figures, unlike the Ultimate line of figures, don't generally have a lot of detail in them when it comes to the accessories. But this looks really good, and it's going to look really good in his hands when we pose him, because that's probably what we'll use to pose him. Lastly, Valentine's Day chocolate box. And this opens up to reveal a heart. That is really cool. That is one of the scenes in the movie that I remember. One of the characters opens up a Valentine's Day chocolate box, and inside is a human heart. Really great detail in this heart, though. Just showing, like, obviously the blood all around, but just the detail of the heart itself looks really good. All right, with the accessories out of the way, let's go ahead and talk about the figure. I have the figure on a stand here, and that's because he doesn't really stand that well right out of the box. Did have a problem with his left leg being a little knock-kneed. You can kind of see that right there. I tried to adjust it, but I didn't want to turn it too much and risk damaging some of the joints or the limbs. So we'll talk about this figure. Let me go ahead and take him off this stand. Of course, there's a problem right there. This wire came out of the case, but it's easily put back. I'll actually set the stand aside. Let's go ahead and talk about the articulation before we get into the detail. Now, I don't want to move him too much, so I probably won't. Just to let you know, this is not a figure that you're gonna like fully be able to articulate in weird ways, and I'll tell you why. At least for mine, this wire right here that's attached to the headlamp goes all the way down and attaches to a battery pack on the side. Great detail, love it. But when I open the figure up, this wire unclipped right there. Not a huge deal, I could put it back in. Then this one unclipped. Not a big deal, I could put it back in. But I fear that if I turn this too much that we might have some of that. Well, it's actually okay. So we'll give it a try. Just for you guys, I'll give it a try. We do have head articulation. See, there, it popped out again. Right there. I don't know why they didn't clip that in better. I really wish they would have. It's frustrating, but regardless. The head does move back and forth, up and down, just a little bit. He's a little encumbered by his gas mask that he has here, his breathing apparatus, and the mask itself. But, it can't move up too far because this hose right here. The joints are really stiff on this, fresh out of the box, but we do have a ball joint in the arm that allows you to move or in the shoulder rather, that allows you to move the arm up and down and back and forth like this. There is an elbow joint, which is right there, which you can bend the arm there. And you also have a wrist action right here where you can turn the arm like so. Is there movement in the hips? There is no movement at the waist there. That figure is locked. I don't want to push it too far, but I cannot rotate his waist at all. No, it doesn't rotate. So there is no rotation at the waist. We do have some hip joints here. Now again, my left leg right here is a little bit knock-kneed, and you can see it. I'll bend the knee, and you can see how his leg doesn't bend straight back. This one bends straight back. This one doesn't. And I tried adjusting this a little bit. It's just really stiff on here, and I do not want to mess around with that too much. Not a big deal for me. I tend to pose them pretty simply, in simple manners. I don't really put them in scenes or do any kind of toy photography or anything. So I'm not trying to make this look like a scene from the movie, exact recreation. I just put it up there for show. That's not a problem for me that he doesn't move that much, but for those of you out there who want to do any type of toy photography or anything with this, you're not going to get a lot of movement out of this figure. Going down, like I said, he does bend at the knee, and we do have a bend at the ankle, and the shoe right there has a little joint in it that can move up and down and back and forth and from side to side, like so. Doesn't really stand well on his own. I haven't been able to find that sweet spot, hence the reason why I had him on a figure stand. So you probably want to get a figure stand if you're going to want to pose this guy. Okay, On to the details. I really do like the look of this figure. Try to get a little bit less glare on his eyes there, but I love the look of this figure. That's part of the reason why I got this. The character is iconic, and this is the first time we got a Harry Warden character. I don't even know if we'll ever get one again, but I love it. I just love the look of this. Starting with the headlamp at the top, I think that's a great detail, as I said earlier, even with the cord running down. Like, who would need that? Like, I don't need that, but it's a good detail to add going into this battery pack. Like, no one's looking at this going, oh, there's no cord attaching the headlamp. I mean, some people are, I guess, but who cares? But I'm glad they included that. We got, of course, the mining helmet that you can see right there. And then he's wearing this face mask, this like gas mask, oxygen mask, I guess it would be. Not a gas mask per se, just an oxygen mask. I'm not even going to try to see if there's anything under there. I'm assuming there's not. He's just wearing overalls, kind of like Michael Myers overalls, actually. If you got one of the Michael Myers 8-inch figures, it's kind of what it looks like. Or even, what was it? Mego came out with an Action Jackson, had overalls that looked almost exactly like this. It's got 2 belts right here. These are made of soft rubber. And good detail on the belt buckles, and right there and there and there. Everything looks good. The actual clasp is in the back there. And then here's like the tank for the oxygen. And as I said, the battery pack before. You can see some of the detail on that. A little weathered look. Kind of looks a little grimy. And then on that side. So good attention to detail with those type of accessories that come on his face. Of course, also we have some blood splattering right there. So I really like all that attention to detail. He is wearing these like workman's gloves. And you can see that they weathered those as well, made them look a little grimy. You know, it's funny. It's like the suit doesn't look grimy. That's not weathered. But he's got, which I wish they would have done something to scuff it up a little bit, dirty it up a little bit. But does have some weathering on the gloves, which look really nice. And then down to the boots. And of course, the boots are like these workman's boots. Pretty good detail on that with the laces and everything. On the back side, going up. You know, everything looks really good with this figure as far as the look of the figure goes. I really love the character of the killer in the movie. And I think he's going to look great on the shelf being displayed with all the other figures that I have there. So why don't I go ahead and get him displayed how I'm going to have him on the shelf. And then we'll come back and give our final thoughts. All right, we got the figure set up how I'm going to have him up on my shelves there. And I really do like the look of this figure, despite the fact that he's a little bit pigeon-toed or knock-kneed. I can just kind of spread his pants out there to avoid that look. I like having the candy at the bottom here opened up and revealing the bloody heart there. Him holding the pickaxe is obviously iconic for me especially, and anybody who's a fan of the movie will agree that that's the look that you want for this Harry Warden, the miner figure from My Bloody Valentine. I am not going to give this 5 heads. This is going to get 4.5 Pamela Voorhees heads. I love this figure. I love the look of the figure. I love nearly everything about it. There's just a couple of things that really got me, from the knee joint down here in the left leg to the wire popping out. And then, of course, the suit. And I didn't expect there to be any weathering on this jumpsuit because we haven't gotten that. Like I said, these are the 8-inch line of figures. A lot of detail in the plastic parts, but in the cloth parts, there tends to be a little bit less of detail in. But I kind of wish that would have happened. Just some weathering on the jumpsuit here. I mean, he is a miner after all. It's underground. So 4.5 Pamela Voorhees heads from me. If you have any comments or disagree with me at all on this, why don't you go ahead and comment down below. And if you like this video, please click that like button. Also, if you haven't yet subscribed and you feel so inclined, click both that subscribe button as well as that notification bell. We are the Swearwolves Horror Podcast, and we do a weekly show in which we review horror movies, so please check us out by searching for The Swearwolves, wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. You can also visit our website at theswearwolves.com. So, for The Swearwolves, I'm Brett. Hi, this is Brett with the Swearwolves. When I'm not editing videos or creating content for YouTube, I just sit here and wait. And wait. If you like the video that you just saw, go ahead and click that button right there. And if you haven't yet subscribed, go ahead and click that other button right there. I'll wait.